Let's go! Hello, everybody. Welcome to JBS, the Jersey Baseball Show. We are, as we said, we have expanded New Jersey to include parts of Pennsylvania, fortunately. And one of the reasons why is so we could get today's guest on and make it be okay. It's Gavin Lill, the star senior right-handed pitcher at Westchester East. You can see in the background, maybe he's headed, there we go. We're headed to University of Pittsburgh in the fall. ACC baseball ahead. Welcome, Gavin. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be on here.
100%. Let's get going, and let's start the way we do with most of our high school guys, which is, you're playing some great college baseball coming up in a year. We still got some high school before that, but we are headed off to the ACC and a great program at Pittsburgh. And talk us through that process and how we ended up at with the yellow and blue.
Yeah, so my process was pretty long. I drug it out for basically all of high school. Committed about this time last year. Really kind of got to see like what recruiting was and why colleges wanted you, why colleges sort of were hesitant. And Pitt came along. And my dream was always to play in a big time conference, right? So everyone's got that dream. Pitt was sort of like the first bigger conference school that I ever talked to, and sort of really stood out just because the conversations I had with Matt Rita, he's not there anymore, but right after Rita left, they picked it up right off of him. I mean, Coach Mike Bell, everybody, it's just absolutely amazing. And what they were able to do last year was so fun to watch. I remember sitting in my basement. I was with my buddies. We were playing Fortnite or something, and I had the other TV on, and they swept Florida State. And one of our other commits was down there with a Florida State commit watching the game. And he just kept sending us videos of this Florida State commit, just like hands in his face, just like so upset. It was just awesome. And I'm super excited. My official visit was awesome. Got to meet a lot of the guys, and our recruiting class just really gets along well. So you can't really beat that.
Yeah, it seems like they're taking a similar trajectory to, one of the programs over in Jersey in Rutgers, in that, last year they both had some great stretches. You mentioned the Florida State series for Pitt. Rutgers goes out and sweeps Nebraska. And wins 2 out of 3 at Michigan. And they both were there were parts of last season where people were saying NCAA tournament and, just kind of fell short in the end because it's such a challenge to be up every week. But great, both schools with great incoming recruiting classes. When you see ACC baseball now, has it really hit in that that's going to be you really soon?
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching the games, and it's absolutely amazing. Like, the competition level super high. There's guys with all sorts of tools and abilities, and to be able to know that I will be competing at that is something that I obviously have to prepare for, and probably gonna get smacked in the mouth when you get there, without a doubt. But it's all about kind of adapting to that and learning the way and the pace of the game once you get there. So yep. I'm super excited.
And baseball is really a sport of how you do respond when you get smacked in the mouth, because I don't know anybody who hasn't,
Yeah.
You see the depth in that conference, right? Last year it was, I think, Duke and Virginia were in the championship game, Duke and NC State, having great run. Duke won the title. NC State, got to the Final Four of the NCAA. Virginia is always in the World Series, and then you realize they were some of the lower seeds in the conference during the season, right? It's probably every bit as good as the SEC now.
Yeah, I mean, I remember my buddy was saying like when Duke won, they were like, "Oh, the projections." It said like the ACC tournament. It said Duke needed a miracle, and they kind of proved that it was no such miracle because they just went on and kept tearing it up. But yeah, it was really cool.
Yep, yep. So other than getting as much blue and yellow into your wardrobe as possible now,
Yeah.
what else are we doing to get ready for college baseball at that level?
Yeah, so obviously getting stronger. Something that's been really big with me recently is getting a lot more explosive and fast. And that's sort of just like the baseline, right? Your body needs to be able to do these things in order to get to where you want to go. But one thing that's really, really made me like realize that I need to be a lot better of a pitcher. Like in live at bats recently, it's sequencing. I really need to work on sequencing, having consistency in my off speed, and pairing pitches up. So that's something that I've been able to like sort of learn with all the pro guys that come in. Like I get off pretty early on my Fridays, so that's when they go live over there, and to just like listen in on the conversations that they've been having, literally like during at bats, after at bats, in between pitchers. It is absolutely insane what those guys actually think about, and seeing pitches that no one's going to be able to touch yet turned around for home runs in a facility in February is so cool. It's awesome, and it's a great environment to like be around.
Yeah, you're talking about Ascent, obviously. Over in Chester County, right? It's in Chester County,
Uh,
or is it in
it's
Delaware County?
Delco, it's Delaware
Okay.
County, like right. It's kind of weird. Garnet Valley, Concord area, yeah.
Yeah, it grew, well, the great site. It was formerly MSI, which a lot of people are going to still know it as. But Jeff Randazzo, Tom Cockle, George Zirkle, the pitching guru over there.
Yeah.
Um, Tell us about Ascent, because that was the MLK Invitational. That was my first chance to see you throw live. Um, Tell us what guys over here in New Jersey are don't know about Ascent and what it's meant to you.
Yeah, so all right. So here's one of the things where I'll have to break this down for pretty long. So it all started like 4 years ago. Me and the hitting coach Chase Miller. Um, he like my mom taught him, and we ended up buying the house that he was moving out of. So this is the house that Chase Miller grew up in, and he always played baseball, and he was getting into coaching. So he would pick me and this other kid up before my freshman season every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. And before school on Tuesday and Thursdays, we would throw behind Kmart. There's like a Kmart parking lot with a huge like thing behind it. We would throw there, and then we would go and lift in the LA Fitness. And like looking back at it, I was 14 and I was like, wow, like I woke up every day at like 4:45, like almost every other day at 4:45 to do this.
You go throw in the Kmart parking lot.
Yeah, no, I used to get like clowned for it. They're like, oh, you're throwing the Kmart parking lot a little bit more. I was like, hey, and I was like, man, they're right. I'm throwing a Kmart parking lot. I didn't realize how like cool it was. But after that, uh Chase was saying, he was like, there's not much more I can do for you. Like we are doing some pretty generic stuff. I'm trying to study for you and help you out. Like he's done more for me than anyone like I could ever imagine, and I thank him for that. But he was like, you got to go over this place, which was MSI.
Right.
So I eval that summer after my school season, and I'm throwing 79. I think I'm 150 pounds, and I don't know. I think George was like, "Oh wow, like you're pretty good." I was like, "Well, I was like, yeah, like I'm pretty good," but I didn't really like realize it because the freshmen that eval now are throwing like 85 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, this is nuts. And there's a ton of guys over there that have been there forever, But recently, we'll get back to the Ascent thing. I sort of just had to tell the origin story. It's amazing. So one thing that we really pride ourselves on is having our strength coach, our pitching guy, and our hitting guy all communicating about athletes at once, right? So you have Rob Urbina, absolutely amazing.
Rob's awesome.
Who's gonna give you your strength program after obviously you go through the eval process of like learning how you move and what are your weaknesses. Then he's gonna walk you down. You're gonna talk to George. George obviously is gonna take that report. I literally see him. He takes the paper. They talk about, oh, he's got this, that. And George is like, yeah, I can see that in his movements and everything. Throw a bullpen, then he'll go hit, and Chase can like look at the paper, see how he throws, and you can basically tell not how a kid's going to turn out, because you never know about that. It's all about like commitment and stuff like that. But you can see like, oh, this is how this kid is going to progress. And like throughout the off season, it's nuts. But it's really cool because of the environment and the amount of guys that are in there and the quality of guys that are in there now. And it's not just the talent pool where there's so many kids in this area, which there are, but these kids you see now, like our 2024 class, we have a leaderboard of velos, and it's like the top 5 kids. The top 5, the slowest thrower throws 88. It's nuts. And the slowest thrower throws 88 through like 79 a year ago or a year and a half ago. So it's really not all about they've been there for so long and everything like that. It's sort of like this process has grown them into what they are because they buy in and show up every day. So, I mean, I can't talk enough about it. I can't talk enough about the people, but that's sort of just like a taste of it. And it's a one-stop shop for everything you need, no matter what.
Yeah. Now you were 150 then. How big are you now?
I'm 225.
Yep, 6'3", right?
6'3", yep.
Yeah, you're not a. No, were you were tall and skinny, or you just hadn't grown?
I was like 5'10", 5'11" that time.
That's not bad for a going to a 9th grader.
No, it wasn't bad at all. It was just like the weight. Every off season was absolutely complete change, body weight and like look. It was nuts.
Yeah, and now, like I said, now it's you got the size. It's just figuring out how to move that, I guess, ideally, and right. You want to move like a lighter guy, and have the strength of a bigger guy.
Definitely, yeah.
So since most of our watchers are in New Jersey, we've got to tell everybody why Pennsylvania, Southeastern PA baseball is better, and why it was worth annexing, into our territory and calling you New Jersey, but we know you're not. Why is Pennsylvania baseball better? And
yeah, so Pennsylvania baseball is better because obviously it's a bigger state, right? So I don't know if there's more people, but it's definitely a bigger state size wise. But with PA, like you've got like the suburbs, and then you've got city, and then you've got every other sort of thing you can, right? So there's different kinds of baseball everywhere. My league is the Chestmont, and it's a public high school baseball league, but it's surprisingly very, very competitive and very good. I'd say over like 6 to 8 teams, there's probably like 10 to 15 Division I guys, maybe more than that. And those are the guys that have just like already committed and everything like that. There's probably more than 15 or something like that. I don't have the exact number, but every year it's pretty big time. It's weird to say because it's like there's a lot of things around like public high school baseball in different states and stuff like that. But in our area, each league is pretty stacked. And then there's like the Interact, which is really nuts with their talent. Yeah. And it's so cool. Like on Saturdays, Malvern Prep, I'll just go watch them because I mean, we don't play on Saturdays. So they play like 60 games. So might as well just go see my guys play there. But it's nuts. There's some crazy talent in PA that nobody even like discovers. Like you might have this kid who plays Legion baseball, never been to like PBR or Perfect Game. And then he goes to, let's say, like Bucknell and hits like 500. No one knows who he was, but he's always been that good. It's nuts.
It's so, and I think you mentioned it. It's just the size. It's so much in PA, and I know the PBR people do as much as they can, and you just can't. There's just too much. There's too much talent. There's too much developed talent.
Yeah.
You mentioned Malvern Prep. One of the best teams in the country. You got Bonner is going to be one of the best teams in the country. In the Catholic League, it's pretty cool to see so many different teams coming out of different types of baseball too. I mean, and you're a fan, and you've got guys all over from Ascent.
Yeah.
You enjoy watching it as almost as much as, I mean, I'm sure not as much as playing, but
Yeah.
almost as much.
Yeah, I mean, live at bats, we have 23 guys, which is like not all of our pitchers. So we have 23 guys who throw on that Saturday. So I have to get there at like 8:30 and sign up on the board, make sure I get I showed up at 8:30 and I got like the second inning, and I was like, wow, these guys are really showing up early. But I just sit there and hang out like all day. It's 4 hours. We did 4 hours of live at bats. It's nuts. And it's incredible how like 3 years ago, it was me and 6 other guys, if we're lucky, throwing live, and like 4 hitters, like Jackson Rutecki, like 4 guys, legitimately. Now we have like 40 hitters, probably like 30 pitchers, maybe like 60 hitters, but not everybody can come in on Saturdays.
Yeah.
But it's crazy like that we can offer that. It's nuts.
Yeah, and you see the talent. You see so many guys at the MLK invite that were Ascent guys.
Yep.
It's just a really amazing kind of cool thing to watch. You ever realize how fortunate you are to sort of come in at the ground level kind of as the place was developing?
Yeah, I mean, I work there too, so I've been there for years. I've worked there for a year now, and I see it all. I mean, being there for so long is definitely like a plus, because if someone needs help, like obviously someone's walking around with their program, like we get these paper programs, you could just tell they're waiting for like Rob or Kiana to like ask a question. And you just like walk over like, hey man, like I've been here. I've seen every exercise that he's given out. Like, just like, you can ask me if you need any help or anything like that. And it's a super intimidating like environment to walk into. So all these kids are very intimidated, but once you like work them in, it's crazy how good they can get.
You've had the chance to play all over the country in events. What makes, and with guys from all over the country, what makes, Northeast baseball, whether it's New Jersey, whether it's Southeastern PA, what makes it special compared to these guys who are playing year round outdoors on the national level?
Yeah, definitely. So being all over the country and seeing all these talented guys up in PA, like up north, if you really want to go to these like big Southern schools, you have to make a name for yourself that's so big, I feel like. Because down there, like they see you a lot, they see how you play in game, but up here, I feel like you have to check all the boxes, because I feel like there's so many guys up here that get underlooked, and they could play at all these high levels, but they end up batting like 400, 600 somewhere where they're making an immediate impact and practically like the biggest part of the team very early on. It's like guys have to figure out a way to get better. It's not just automatically seeing 95, seeing 96 and everything like that. You have to like see it from a machine. Your first few live at bats are going to be terrible. It's a grind, but you'll adapt. Like if you don't adapt, then you might not want to try to find, like, you might want to play football or something.
Not everybody's your size. Not everybody can play
True.
football. Has that ever been an option for you?
Oh, so this year, our football team struggled. I mean, I don't want to call the guys out, and I love the guys, but We were like 3-7, I think, 2-8 or 3-7. Every time I was like, man, like I could totally play football right now. But I feel like if I played football, I don't know, obviously I have played football before. Like when I was younger, I was like a super skinny nose guard and I was terrible. So there's a good chance I could be terrible again, but hopefully I can make somebody else look terrible in the process. But
Quarterback was never a thing. I've seen your arm.
yeah, quarterback. No, I would fumble the snap every single time. So they just stuck me at nose guard. Yeah.
All right. That's why you're a pitcher, I guess. You're not an infielder.
Yeah, no, nope, not an infielder. No, not at all.
Happy with the PL life at this point?
I'm happy with it. I mean, there was like freshman year, it was hard, because like I was like, it was either like, oh, hit on JV or like pitch some on varsity. And I was like, yeah, pitch like on varsity, come on. So I got the cool jacket and everything like that. But then I just completely lost how to hit. And recently, like we got the hit track. So I was like, I'm hitting. That's what I'm going to do. I was shut down for like 2 weeks to like ramp back up. So all I did was lift and hit, lift and hit, lift and hit. So that was fun for a bit. Like I'm on the leaderboard for all like the exit velo stuff and like distance and stuff like that. But I can't do like the real stuff.
No, and certainly not when you're facing it in the mid 90s every day in the ACC. There's no. Fortunately, you will not be one of those people who thinks they can go to college and hit still.
Yeah, no, thank you. Sounds like a lot of work.
Favorite part of PO life?
Favorite part of PO life. All right. I think it's gonna be okay, yeah. It's definitely gotta be like showing up to summer games in my aviators and my water jug with just my glove and like slides. Like full uniform, but like aviators, gloves, slides, and just hanging out. I had a lot of fun this summer just doing that because the weather was nice, like we were winning a little bit. So just like kick back and just bring the energy, because like if you got like 10 POs that are just hanging out, that's 10 guys on the bench that could be yelling. So you might as well yell.
Yeah, that's right. That's the best thing you can do during the game,
Oh yeah.
Favorite team, professional sports, could be baseball, could be other sports.
The Phillies. It's just gotta be the Phillies. Simple as that.
Favorite player.
Oh, man, I don't give much thought into this. I don't know why I don't, but I do. Like I enjoy Shane Bieber. I enjoy his pitch mix and the way he pitches.
So when you're watching players now, and obviously we got a favorite team, but that doesn't mean that. I mean, you still got plenty of favorite guys that you're just looking at more guys you enjoy watching pitch then.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not a huge like watcher, but the lockout, college baseball, I've been tearing it up. I was watching the what was it? Mississippi State, versus Long Beach State.
Yeah.
Oh, that was nuts. I mean, it was basically going frame by frame because of the stream, but that was one of the craziest things. I was just like so excited. Each pitch, I was like jumping out of my seat. It was so fun.
Yeah, no connection to either team, but it's baseball and it's college.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Something about that magic.
Yeah.
So a lot of our Jersey guys are big Chipotle people, for better or worse. Does that cross state lines, or do you have another preference on that type of food?
That definitely crosses state lines. I feel like that's a go for anywhere that actually has Chipotle. There's a little hack: you got to get double rice and double meat. But I'm telling you, if you get the double rice, then they'll feel like they have to put more meat on it. It's delicious. You can't avoid it. Like if you pass it on the way home from something, you can't avoid it. It's just there, and it's always good, no matter what. Even if you get a bad bowl, it's good. So
one part of high school baseball you will miss next year. I
think I'm just gonna miss my friends who aren't gonna play college baseball, which I tried to force them all into, but I gave up after they decided not to. Like I'm gonna miss that. Sort of like the looseness of my friends and how they know that like failure is inevitable, but they fail a little less than they did the day before. They are very appreciative of it. And like, I just love those guys, man. It's fun being around them because all they want to do is have fun. And in that having fun is winning, but they really know how to stay loose and enjoy it.
Yeah. One thing that we don't know about Gavin Lill.
Oh, I've been able to unicycle for a while.
Really?
Yeah, we would learn it in elementary school. So I have a unicycle. I don't do it often, but it's not like riding a bike. You can't really just remember it. But like 5 minutes, I'm riding up and down my driveway pretty good.
You have video proof of your unicycle ability that we can
I don't know if I have video proof, but I think I still have my unicycle.
And why would you have one if you couldn't ride it, right? I mean, that makes sense.
Exactly. Yep.
Nobody just has a random unicycle collection in their house, I don't think.
No, but it is funny. Me and all my elementary school friends, like I have a buddy down the street. I think he has one too. It was like one thing that our elementary school teacher did. He was awesome. He taught us how to unicycle. It was like, you got to go through the progressions of like these steps of something. And then once you climb the rope, once you climb the net wall, you can start trying to unicycle. And I would always like try to finish everything, and I would learn to unicycle. I was like 4th through 5th grade. Got it.
Never lost it. Well, you gotta practice that though.
I do. I actually have for my high school, it's called Mr. East. It's like a pageant show. So I'm probably.
That's gotta be your skill.
Yeah, that really does. I didn't even think about that.
Can you juggle? And can you juggle on a unicycle?
I cannot juggle at all.
Okay.
I can do the one hand one where you like throw the ball off and catch it. I can't do the 2 hands.
Yeah, that's not juggling. That's having a catch, I think. With your
Yeah. Yep.
What is one thing on your bucket list?
Oh, one thing on my bucket list. I really want to go. My dad just went to Fenway, and he went up on the Green Monster, and he said that would be the coolest way to watch a baseball game.
The monster, the seats.
Yeah, I think that's a bucket list. I mean, I don't put much thought into it, but like that immediately popped into my head.
Yeah. If you could be major D1 level at any other sport, what are you picking?
Probably say football because the money now with the NIL stuff.
Okay, so we got to find you some NIL deals, is what it sounds like you're saying here.
Yeah, trying to figure that stuff out. We'll see. I don't know like all the rules, but I don't know if high school guys can get them. But I see a few kids who have them in high school. So
yeah, you got a couple months, it won't matter.
Yeah, true.
So it sounds like we need an aviators deal. We need a unicycle deal. We need a Chipotle deal. Anything else we need to get?
I don't know. Chipotle. I'll just double Chipotle.
One thing in your pregame routine that has to be there and is definitely going to carry over to college.
Oh yeah. All right. One thing in my pregame routine is I kind of like to take a walk by myself. I've sort of had to alter the walk. Before games, I would get really hyped up and like just start like getting super hype, and then by the first inning, like I would just be burnt out. Yeah. So I like to go on a walk, put my earbuds in, breathe, like make sure I'm slow, I'm calm, and then sort of like once I warm up, I'm locked in.
One thing you've learned through all this that you would tell somebody just starting high school.
All right. No matter what you do, always trust in yourself and trust the process, because there's going to be things that get in your way. It's inevitable. Like no matter what you do, you're going to fail. Don't be okay with failing, but be okay with it's a part of the process. And when you fail, there's not always a reason for that. Sometimes it just happens because it's supposed to happen. And that's what you need to be okay with.
It's only failure if you give up.
Yep.
Yeah. Gavin Lill, our guest today. Thank you. Thank you for always repping Pennsylvania well.
Yeah.
Whether it's our Joe Burrow contest, whether it's on the mound, whether it's headed out to Pitt next year, which we know you'll do great. Look forward to getting out to see you at East this spring, and have to do this again.
Yeah, thank you. This was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Gavin Lill, our guest. It's JBS. We look forward to seeing you guys out at the field.